Hey everybody, what's going on? It's James here with Crypto Common Sense, and I have a Bitcoin/cryptocurrency market update video for June the 29th. Before I jump into the content for this video, please do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and of course don't forget to check the description for a link where you can join Patreon for just $7 a month. Also, I'm going to switch things up and put this disclaimer at the beginning of the videos instead of the end. So please remember, I am just some guy sitting in a spare bedroom. Nothing in this video is financial advice. You should always do your own due diligence and seek out professional financial advice from a licensed financial advisor before making any type of investment in cryptocurrency, the stock market, or precious metals. So the first chart I want to take a look at is going to be a 12-hour Bitcoin chart. And reason being is because it has now put in a double bottom and confirmed that double bottom, right? Here is the neckline, it broke above that neckline, and this candle here actually closed above the neckline. So we have a confirmed double bottom on the 12-hour Bitcoin chart. And the double bottom pinged off of the bottom of this range itself. So at the very least, I would expect this to go back up to the top of this range, which will be up around 41K. And I'm sure you're not going to be surprised to find out that I still believe Bitcoin is heading back to $45,000 to $49,000 before any further downside. That is not a guarantee. That is my belief based on the information that I currently have available to me in the charts. All right. If I take a look at a daily chart, what I'm seeing here is this range, which ironically I first posted up, a month ago, and here we are in the same range, right? I do see price coming up. I see the first major point of contention being this 50-day moving average, which is currently around $38,200. We need to break past that. If that holds us up for some reason, it could be the end of the story for us. But if we can break past that, the next major point that I would be looking for resistance at would be the top of the range around 41K. If we can break past that, the next major hurdle is going to be that 200-day moving average up around 43.7K. And of course, if we break past that, we'll get back into the supply zone, which is going to be, the real hurdle, and the hurdle that I do not believe Bitcoin is going to overcome. Okay. And really, this could even be drawn as low as that, right? So it may be that 45 to 49K is a little bit optimistic. It may be like 43K ends up being, the point where things just kind of fall apart. Because again, that would be right around that 200-day moving average and, the bottom of this tail back here. If we take a look at a weekly chart, our 19-week moving average is currently around 47.6K. But again, it is curling down. Let me take these fibs off here so it's easier to see. It is curling down. It's curling down pretty strong. So, again, if we make it past that 200-day moving average, I do think this will be a major point for, me personally, for looking for short positions. Okay. But I do think we're going to get there. Maybe not necessarily all the way to 47K. That'd be nice. But I do think this thing is going higher. I just don't see Bitcoin going down and then pausing and then continuing a down move. That would be very unusual, and it would be unlike previous bear markets in Bitcoin. If we take a look at the weekly RSI, we're actually trying to put in almost a double bottom here, right? Look at this, down, up, down. So that's something that I want to keep an eye on as well. It could always shock me and all of a sudden flip back to a bull market, right? And I don't expect that to happen, but it's certainly a possibility that I want to keep an open mind to. Look at the 3-day chart. Of course, it bounced around the bottom of that RSI box, came up, hit that resistance. My line's gone. I don't know where it went, but we had that resistance line right around that midpoint. Okay, you can see back here, and boom, bounced off of it, came down. Again, if we break through this line, which I suspect we will, I think this 3-day RSI is going to head to the top of this box, and I think that is where it's going to get rejected at. Now, we'll see. I do not have a crystal ball. I just know that's typically what happened in previous bear markets. It come up, get rejected, and then dump back to the bottom of the box. You can see it here, and you can see it here. Okay. You can also see it all through 2018's bear market. Boom, actually snuck above it here in the summer, but dumped, right? And then when the bull market kicked off in early 2019, came up, had a pullback, and then broke through it. So kind of gives us some things to watch for. If it hits it and then dumps, yeah, it's more bear market news. But if it hits it, has a little pullback and starts to move back up, it could be that we're actually going to break back out of the box and continue some type of new uptrend. Okay, so that's the weekly chart, that's the 3-day chart, that's obviously the daily chart, the 12-hour chart, and the CME chart. If we take a look at it, it actually did put in a long setup a few days ago. We're not going to worry about that in this video, but it is back above the midpoint of this, parallel channel or range, whatever you want to call it. It's back above its 200-day moving average, which is really good news if you are bullish on Bitcoin. Even if you're a bear, but short-term bullish like I am, still great news. We have a 50-day moving average sitting around 43.8K. So again, some resistance up in that area. If you look at CME, look at that. Start running into trouble around that $44,000 zone up there possibly. So me personally, I'm still short-term bullish, meaning I still think this thing is going to go up to the mid-40s. Okay, but make no mistake about it. Big picture, at least over the next 6 to 12 months, I think we'll see further downside in Bitcoin. So I'm going to just put this out there real quickly. I don't want to dwell on it. Okay, if we look at the Fibonacci levels and we go back to, let's not even go back to 2018. Let's just go back to 2020, right? And we draw some fibs. Let me get my magnet working. Boom. Our 61.8, which I haven't talked about in quite some time, is down around 27K or so. That's a normal pullback in a bull market. I do not think that's where it'll stop. If you guys remember last year, I talked about how when parabolas break, they tend to retrace 80%. An 80% retracement from the top, if 65K ends up being the market top for the cycle, which I believe it is, would be down around $15,000 to $16,000 in that ballpark. I think it goes lower than that. I still think this thing goes all the way back down to around 10K. Okay, there's some gaps in the CME down as far as like 9,800 on the daily. I think all those will be filled in. I do think this retests that 10K point. And just real quickly, and again, this is like bigger picture. First, I think we move up. Okay, so don't get mad at me here. Throw these on there. If we just go back to the bottom, so basically the bottom of 2018, this particular market cycle, we can see that our point of control is down around $9,500. And if we measure it from the top, that would be about an 85% drop. Now, everyone should know at this point that Bitcoin tends to retrace between 80 and 90% in its bear markets. The last bear market, it retraced right at 84%. You'll be able to see it right here. Boom. 84.27%. The bear market before that, I'd have to go over to like a Bitstamp chart or something so we can do that real quick. Just look at the BLX. So 84%, a little over 84% in the last market. And the previous bear market before that, 2013 top, ended up retracing. Are we ready for it? Ah, yes, 86%. Okay. If we go back to the market before that, in 2011, that one ended up retracing, yes, about 93%, almost 94%. So this idea that people have that, oh, this could just not possibly retrace to $10,000, you're freaking crazy. No, if you believe that's impossible, you are crazy. Because that is about 85%, and that is totally in line with normal market behavior for Bitcoin. That's the bad news, right? The good news is if it does retrace back down to that level, okay, and again, we can put this volume profile back on there. If it does retrace back down to that level, it would do a really good job in filling in all these volume, these basically volume gaps. I wouldn't really call them gaps, but these pockets where there's just almost no volume, right? Get back down here, find support on top of this ledge. That would, make me believe that I personally, not you, but I personally should pick up some Bitcoin, right? And then maybe Bitcoin long-term does fulfill some of these big promises and these big visions that people have. Maybe it really does go to $100,000. Maybe it really does go to $250,000. Maybe it really does become an alternative to gold and go even higher than that. We really don't know. What I can tell you is, barring some unforeseen event, some really weirdness, there's a good possibility that I would personally be willing to buy Bitcoin down around $9,500, right? And when I say weird events, listen, I've learned from my mistakes. Last time I said I'd buy it at $4,000, then COVID happened, and I was like, I don't know, right? I don't know what weird events would have to happen, but right now I have my mind made up that I will buy Bitcoin at $9,500 if it reaches that level. Will I buy enough that if I'm wrong, I'm going to be bankrupt? Of course not. Money management is always going to be top of mind for me. I'm never going to gamble with money I can't afford to lose. But yeah, I'll pick up some Bitcoin, right? Maybe a handful next time around. Okay, so that's what I'm watching in the big picture. I think we go up here first, and then I think eventually we make our way down to this level. I don't think it's going to be quick. I don't think it's going to be one of these boom, boom, boom. I don't think that's happening. It's not the way bear markets typically work. They're painful, they take a while, and they grind, right? It may take 6 months, it may take 12 months, it may take 18 months. I think eventually it works its way down to that level, okay? Eventually being the key word. In the meantime, there's going to be all kinds of trade opportunities to play the moves. You know, it's a lot of money is made between the lines. You know, there's a lot of money being made right now for people who long this down around 30K, and they're already up 20%. There's a lot of money for people who short it back here and close it down here and flip long, right? There will be a lot of money for people who decide to short up here if it goes down, right? Even if it doesn't go to 10K. So just remember that, you know, from an investment standpoint, I'm an investor down around $9,500. From a trading standpoint, I'm a trader anytime I feel like it. It could be a 5-minute chart, it could be an hourly chart, it could be a daily chart. Doesn't matter. There's always trades available in this market. Also going to quickly touch on Ethereum because Ethereum is putting in some cool structure. Ethereum did come down. It actually did hit its 61.8 right here. Had a really nice bounce off of it and then tested it again here. Had another really nice 20% bounce off of it. So kind of like with Bitcoin, I don't think Ethereum's going straight down. I think this is going to come up and most likely, right, see some type of move up like this, possibly as high as even 3K, right? And then eventually make its way down. And the thing that I saw in Facebook, somebody was skeptical that this was going to go back down to $300. I do not have a crystal ball. I do not know where this thing is going to go to. But what I will tell you is based on just cold, hard technical analysis, if you put a volume profile on Ethereum, the point of control is down around $97 all time. And if you look at it from the bottom in 2018, the point of control is down around 170. If you look at it from the bottom in 2020, the point of control is down around 179, right? There's a lot of open air above that, okay? And if you look at statistics, the last bear market, Ethereum ran up to over $1,400 and it bottomed at right around $80, which was a 94.32% drop. So when I say that I think it's very likely that eventually Ethereum will make its way back down to around $300, right in this level right here, I know that sounds far-fetched when you think about the fact that Ethereum was just almost $4,400 a few weeks ago. But if you look at the math, look here, to the top of that wick, which was right around $364, is a 91% drop, and to $290 is a 93.38% drop. That is actually a smaller drop than what we had in the last bear market. So do I think Ethereum will go to $300? Yes, I do think Ethereum will go to $300. See how this ledge is over here? I think that's exactly what's going to happen long term. I think it goes all the way back down to that ledge. Right between $300 and $400, and I think that is where I will be happy to pick up the Ethereum that I sold. Right, I sold Ethereum, was taking profits. I don't remember exactly where I started at, but I was taking profits, you know, from $1,000 all the way up to, you know, $4,000. I sold the last bits of Ethereum that I sold up for around $3,900 or so. Right, so I've not bought those back, even though I could have bought them back here and made a nice bit on the bounce. Those were an investment. I'll buy the investment back if it gets back down to my investment level around $300 to $400. That's me personally. Does it mean it gets there? No. Just where I would personally be happy investing. Maybe you're happy investing in $2,000 Bitcoin. It's totally up to you. Okay. I am a low risk, high reward type of guy. I look for spots where my risk is very, very limited and my reward is very, very high. All right, I do believe that Ethereum is a very promising, project long term, and I do believe that if Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin was to go back to $9,000 or $10,000, and even if Ethereum did go back to $300 or $400, I believe it's totally feasible that eventually Ethereum could be a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 cryptocurrency. Again, it's not guaranteed, but that's what I believe. So if I have an opportunity to risk $400 and an opportunity to make a potential $20,000 off of that 400, yeah, I'm gonna be willing to risk a little bit of money and pick up some Ethereum, right? How many Ethereum? That's my business. But yeah, I mean, seriously, I would definitely be looking to buy Ethereum down to those levels. It would also be a retest of this giant monthly W down here. Okay, so totally normal stuff, guys. I know it seems far-fetched, but unfortunately, that's the way markets are. They get way ahead of themselves because of all the leverage and margin and things like that. And then when that margin dries up and people start getting liquidated, they end up going down, 80 to 90%. A lot of these projects, these past projects in the last bear market, they did go down 90 to 99%. So I view it as better safe than sorry. Okay. And as always, I still got my little hedge fund, or what's left of it. I did take profits on some of it, but I still do have my little hedge fund in case I'm just totally dead wrong and this thing goes bananas and I wake up to $1 million Bitcoin tomorrow, right? Who knows? It's always possible. With all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up there. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it's really important to the YouTube algorithm that people interact with the videos. That's what determines how often they show the videos to new subscribers or new viewers, All right, so make sure to do that for me. That way I am motivated to continue shooting these videos. And I'll just reiterate that I am some guy sitting in a spare bedroom. So, like I said, nothing in the video is financial advice. You should always go out there and do your own due diligence and seek out professional financial advice from a licensed financial advisor for making any type of investment in cryptocurrency, the stock market, or precious metals. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check the description for a link where you can join Patreon and also Pancake Profits. This is James with Crypto Common Sense, reminding you to please trade safe.